Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to... Is this the Nutstrap one?
This is not Nutstrap.
Oh, you keep doing these Swedish kinky things and the nut strappings, and I just don't understand. I thought you guys were weird and nerdy before.
We're not that weird and dirty.
I will be your host, Byron. I put the booze in bamboozling Dirksen, and with me as always is Mike, the professor of the bongos, Magus. And Martin, I finish in 13th place because Andy Blade's not here. Edwins.
That would be me. I don't know if I finished 13. There's not even 13 races we're going to finish this race.
Oh, snap. Spoiler alert.
That's true.
Oh, we'll see.
Currently, we are in the closing moments here of qualifying for the Monza race from F3 team event. This is the fourth round of the championship.
Travis
Wallace is on pole position ahead of Wayne Hutchinson, who's making his debut in the series. Sean Kenny just popped up in second place. Nice work, Sean. So Sean Kenny second, Hutchinson, Hampton, Verstappen, Stoppmill, Barker, who we are watching right now. And then it is Magus, Roulette, Butler, Jerome, Edmonds, Perez Torres, and Johnny the Peach. This is, of course, the great team battle between Puma and Breitling, as well as Team Zlfl.
Look at the bottom.
So you got a team race and you got the country flags on? Are you, who's in charge of this?
Well, unfortunately, the teams wouldn't be displayed anywhere on the standings, unfortunately. So
they're all the same car.
We are entirely reliant on me and Martin's ability to tell you who's on what team.
I'm going to go with a lot of the red guys aren't here type scenario.
Yeah, there's no members of Team Replay here.
Wow.
It is Team Orange, Team Yellow, and Team Green.
Well, buckle up, motherfuckers.
And it will be Team Orange with the pole position in the form of Travis Wallace. As the grid forms up here at the historic Monza circuit, incredibly high-speed circuit. The fastest speed circuit in all of F1, if I do recall correctly. A lot of time on the gas, a lot of maximum speed, 100% throttle, and some chicanes that are extremely heavy on the brakes. So that'll be fun. And what is with this whole, quartet of all Pumas here, Martin?
I mean, yeah. The 5 at the bottom. It's pretty bad.
Is there any chance we can get just a 30-lane wide thing?
Here we go.
That's essentially an F1 drag race?
That'd be intriguing. This is about as close as we're going to get to that, unfortunately.
Mike's dying. Call ambulance.
Drink.
They're off into the first chicane here. Wayne Hutchinson with Christoph Verstappen trying to go around the outside. And Verstappen gets through into third place. Travis Walsh and Sean Kenny out in front.
Where's the Stoff?
Stoffmill is in sixth place.
Let me see him now. He is carrying 70 kilogram.
Michael Magus going side by side with Martin Edmonds into Rajia and defense.
Closing the door to Magus.
Yes. No love for your Pumas after one of your teammates used me as a missile to take out one of my teammates.
It just seems like good strategy.
Was it a homing targeting missile?
It wasn't nearly that complex, but one of your guys did rear end me at the first turn and threw me into John Barker, and that's why John's at the back.
It sounds like somebody fired the green shell.
A little bit.
Ooh.
I was the green shell. That is very true. Mike Stoppmill and Jesse Hampton battling with each other through Ascari there over fourth position as they are side by side.
These cars are a little overbuilt, aren't they? I mean, there's a lot of extra weight they're carrying. I don't understand this at all.
They're extremely light, actually.
I don't know. They look pretty bulky. It looks like they've got a lot of lead plating and some shenanigans. And some steel. They shouldn't really be using steel on these, should we?
I don't think there even is any steel on these cars.
It's all nanotubes.
Carbon fiber, I do believe.
Whoa.
Carbon fiber pistons and the whole deal.
Christopher Streppen trying to slip through between
look at
of
that.
the Breitling boys, and he does it. That's a great overtake right there. Like stop mill under pressure from Jeff Roulette, who takes 6th place off of the championship lead.
Come on, Roulette.
Jesse Hampton moving up the inside. This race will probably be a 2-stop race. I don't think anyone tried for the 1-stop, did they?
No, I thought Mr. Barker did.
No, sir. No, sir. No one on the Breitling thought they could make the 1-stop work. We are all 2-stops.
Well, I am not aware of anyone who attempted to do 1-stop.
I think there was someone who... Jeff Roulette.
And lost the rear tire.
And that is, 3 wheels. That's going to end the day for Mr. Jeff Roulette, my rival in the championship.
Damn. That was a lot of damage for...
Mike Magus looking down the inside of Martin Edmonds.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of messed up a Ascari there and has dropped back into the clutches of James Boutelier.
Sounds racist.
Josiah Jerome not doing very well. He's back there in 10th place. Didn't seem to really have great pace in qualifying.
Well, I did pass you. I didn't even notice that, because you were ahead of me, weren't you?
I was for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you overtook me through Parabolic.
Right. Now you gotta deal with Butler.
Which is not a great place to be. Mr. Butler can be very forceful. Rounding off the field, we have John Barker, Javi P. Losing a spot there to John Picha. Good work by the Peach.
I think Javi P was being a little bit generous there.
Well, these are open wheel cars, which are very, very easy to break. So I think being generous is not a bad thing.
Didn't seem to stop you.
It's because I'm a jerk.
And on crack.
There is no crack involved.
I don't understand what that means.
Mike Magus trailing Martin Edmonds, still ahead of Mr. Butler and Mr. Jerome. John Barker in the background there in 11th after his off-track excursion. Javi Perez Torres looking to get back past John Picha and out of last position.
Actually, Roulette has last now since he...
Yeah, but he is out of the race. Yeah, he is sans a wheel.
Is that German?
Totally.
Awesome.
Travis Wallace up in front has about a 2-second advantage over Sean Kenny, with Wayne Hutchinson in 3rd place there. Welcome to the team, Wayne. Most recent joiner of the Breitling crew.
You picked the wrong team, boy.
After, unfortunately, our previous recruit, Charlie Harrelson, booked himself out of the series.
Mike is driving this thing as if there's not 70 kilogram on him.
He was complaining about it the whole time.
As would I.
That is nuts.
If I had to tow 14 ponies behind myself, I would be a little upset.
Indeed. In fact, just a note, I have dropped down to 12th place there. Michael Mack is shown in 12th after a collision with James Butler. That has dropped us to the back of the pack.
So you harpooned your own guy, and then you fucked him up after that? You're heartless.
He fucked me up, thank you very much.
Don't lie to the people.
There will be a steward's report on the matter, I assure you.
Fuck you, Stewart!
I was not happy.
Stewart!
Stunningly enough, both of our cars escaped undamaged, so we at least were able to continue as if nothing happened, just in different places. Mike Stopmill looking down the inside of Christoph Verstappen.
I remember doing a side-by-side move here and ended up killing Andy. Don't do that.
Verstappen makes a big mistake there at the end of Ascari, and that's got Stopmill through.
Boo.
We'll see if Jesse Hampton can also perhaps capitalize. Martin Edmonds there is the first yellow car in the shot. The second is Josiah Jerome in 8th position. John Barker is up to 9th after a little bit of carnage in front of him. And Javi P in the top 10.
It's your boy.
Indeed. And James Butler there, not in 4th place, I assure you.
Oh,
Javier,
he's in
player
the
3,
pit?
Perez Torres.
No, I think he just had an internet flutter. Jesse Hampton trying to put the pressure on Christoph Verstappen.
He was using the draft there for a while.
Indeed, the draft here was pretty powerful. You were able to pick up a draft from about 1.7 seconds behind the car ahead of you, which was...
And there it is.
Yeah, it sucks you up like a vacuum cleaner.
Giggity.
Like Sean's mom. Hey-oh.
Like Sean's mom. Shouldn't be making fun of your teammate like that.
Shout out to Sean here.
It's the only one of your teammates who's actually doing particularly well right now in this race.
Yeah. True. Go Sean.
I mean, you probably have a better chance of winning this kind of stuff if you'd show up for these races there, Martin.
Mm-hmm.
He is here.
Oh, he's so far back, I didn't see him.
Javier Perez Torres in a battle with Michael Magus there. This is over 10th position. Magus has recently liberated from Javi P. And in the background, you can see John Picha in the 3rd team orange car.
Put him in the wall.
Indeed. Jesse Hampton on putting the pressure on Christoph Verstappen. Very wide through
They
Parabolica
both
there.
took it
Whoa.
wide.
Yeah, but I think Jesse's was like kind of standard because you go pretty wide in Parabolica, you can get 2 wheels off on the green there. It's not a problem. But like Verstappen, I think made a mistake there. He went very wide.
Yeah. Well, it didn't cost him too much.
No, the gap is admittedly about the same, but he's battling against a really solid tow that he's giving Hampton, and he's not getting a tow from Stopmill, who has managed to get about 6 seconds clear. Javi P looking to maybe make
Gotta
a move
watch
into
it here.
turn 1. This is a major overtaking zone, but it's also a major carnage zone. And Michael Magus holds the position for the time being, and Javi got a little wide there and a little bit on the rough step.
Too bad.
That's a pretty nice camera angle, I like that.
Travis Wallace is up to about 3 seconds in front of Sean Kenny at this point.
Wallace watch.
Another mistake there by Verstappen, and this has opened the door for Jesse Hampton. By the way, Jesse Hampton racing well, incredibly sick, so shout out to him.
Good work,
As he lives
Jesse.
in a 5th place. Also, Jesse recently bolted his wheel to his desk finally because he kept ripping it off in the middle of races.
Oh!
Martin Edmonds is off in
That's
the
right.
wall, and he's
Somebody's
broken his
drunk.
front end.
Front end is gone.
Too much
That-
poutine, and he had a fucking diabetic coma.
That's been the Breitling chat during the races in the team chat. Just randomly, like halfway through the race, Jesse going, and my wheel's coming off the desk.
And my front end came off the car. See, I couldn't
Indeed.
even turn right there.
Lewd.
Oh yeah, no, these cars with the broken front end, there's just nothing happening. So Martin Edmonds will be our first pit stopper of the day.
To go fix a freaking front wing.
Mm-hmm.
That'll put me dead last, isn't it? Yeah.
Did you manage to work that into your fuel strategy though? Because I think you only made 2 stops, right?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. It wasn't too bad. I mean, it's obviously it compromised you from like a tire standpoint, but at least you were able to still make the fuel work.
Yeah, they made a mistake of changing the tires as well on this. When they fixed the wing, they filled up the car and then they replaced the tires.
I think
So
you
that
were
cost me a
probably
little bit.
personally. I think you were probably better off doing the fresh tires because I think that the way to go here was 3 sets of tires over the course of the race. Like, granted, your tires didn't need to be changed,
Yeah.
but unless you were going to run like unless you were going to get like real creative with the timing of your pit stops, you were probably going to need 3 sets of tires.
Yeah.
Because if you had tried to run long on that first set, you would have murdered them.
Yeah, wasn't it this car that I finished the race at 1%? Can't remember.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Yeah, I think the only driver I believe is Travis Wallace takes no tires. Is the only one that did 2 sets of tires. I to this date don't know why he did. So that's coming. Get ready for that later. I'm gonna have like a Travis's silly rant. Javi P still on the trail of Michael Magus. He's actually keeping up with him, so he doesn't get to call me an alien anymore.
Well, technically you're a legal alien.
That's true.
Did you come in illegally in this country, Mike?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's why I didn't make that joke. Come on, man. You think I wouldn't go for a whole straight deportation joke if I could?
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
My mom was a Canadian citizen. There was, and my dad was a Canadian citizen. So there was
Technically.
it was a pretty easy immigration process.
Technically.
Well, my mom definitely was Canadian citizen. She was born here and everything. My dad, that's a little more technical, yeah.
So the boat was attached to Canadian soil when he was born?
No,
Technically.
he was. My dad was born in Yugoslavia, of course. Lived there until he was 7, and then came over here to live with his aunt and uncle, who adopted him, and that's how we have a non-Yugoslavian last name.
Oh, there you go.
Although
Last name being Smith.
Although our name is still actually confusing because he was adopted by a Ukrainian man who somehow had a Hungarian last name. So it's still a little weird.
Okay, now I'm confused.
Little
So
known
you're
fact,
Hungarian,
Mike's real
or-
name is actually Chungor.
No. Our last name is Hungarian. We are Irish, Serbian, Croatian, Polish. And then if we want to go back like really far, we get into like Scottish and German and all kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Little,
So
little
you should be able to make me a cake with a lot of booze in it then.
yeah.
I'm fine with this.
I come from drinking stock. This would be a fair statement. It's kind of weird watching the gap between Jesse Hampton and Mike Stockmill close, because that doesn't happen very often. There we are. We finally get to see the leader of the race, Travis Wallace, as he works his way around.
Spoiler alert.
Currently about 2.5 seconds ahead of Sean Kenny. So Sean's reeling him in a little bit.
We're gonna see Travis a lot on the director.
That's nice.
Like-
What was that? We're going to see Travis a lot in the pits? What?
on this video.
Travis Wallace is the star of today's production.
Number 6 place, Strip Off Verkraken.
Josiah Jerome trailing him in 7th place. John Barker 8th, Mike Magus 9th, and 10th going to Still Javi P! I like that camera shot, actually. The pan through Ascari. It's very nice.
True.
And into Parabolica. This is actually one of the few tracks where I think I know almost every corner's name.
I have
What?
a strong dislike of this track.
What is your problem with Monza, sir? Why do you dislike the Italians so much?
Not the Italian, this track. It's
I believe the Italians will assume you hate
well,
them.
first
by
of all,
disliking this track.
it's been on every single race sim or race game in the history of the world. So you always had
That's
to
not
go
very
through it.
unique, though. I could name some other tracks that probably have a
Well,
similar
it's true.
distinction.
That's one of them. But I don't know if you remember the game F355 Challenge, Ferrari Challenge. It was on the Dreamcast. It was an arcade game by Sega.
Can't say that I'm familiar with it.
So every time you would start a new career or whatever, if you would lose your save game for some reason, you'd have to redo this damn track over and over and over again. So that's one of the reasons. But the other reason is I never seem to do well. Just look at my position right now.
13th and dead last.
That's right. So it's a
Doing
curse.
your best Andy Blade cosplay right now?
There's a curse with this track. I don't know what it is, but it exists.
Well, there you go. Reasons why Martin Edmonds hates the Italian.
Because they use basil way better than he does.
You sound like the extreme left right now. You hate the Italian because you don't like Monza.
No, I'm just speaking for Italians. If you insult Monza, Italians get very offended.
That's true. That's true.
They do. They love this track. This is like holy ground for them.
It is true. It is the longest running track that they have, isn't it?
Oh, easily, yes. There's just nothing even close.
Yeah.
It's a shame that no game ever has instituted the banking from Monza, like the old banking part of the circuit.
You could see it on the right.
Amazing. Yeah.
Actually, I think AC has it. We can
Does
see
it?
Yeah. Yeah, when we can run the old Lotus car on there. It's a very, very old Formula car. And it's very dangerous. You can see it on the right. You can see it right there on that angle again.
Mm-hmm. Old banking that on the circuit, kind of like an oval for those of you not terribly familiar with what we're talking about. There was a bit of an oval here at Monza, which hasn't been raced in a long, long time. And if you've ever looked at pictures of it now, it's completely dilapidated. So I don't think it's even usable. But
yeah.
But it was an interesting idea. Josiah Jerome is currently occupying our screen as he tracks down Christoph Verstappen. Verstappen, after a really good start, is seemingly struggling right now. He's dropping back of Jesse and losing ground to Josiah at a couple of tenths a lap anyways. I wonder if he's... I don't know, maybe the tires are becoming an issue. This I guess, is the point of the race where we might see some tire drop-offs. That might be it. Sean Kenny has dropped from the race. He appears to be out of this race, and that has given Travis Wallace a massive lead. What happened with Sean there? Did we ever get an answer on that? Was it just a...
He crashed, completely destroyed the car. Kind of like roulette.
I see. So
I was lucky to only use my front end.
2 Pumas down. Hey.
I'm still dead last, but not 13 at least. Handy spot.
That's true. You're now 12. You are catching up to James Butler, who seems to have lost a lot of time. I wonder if he made an early pit stop, perhaps? Maybe.
It's quite possible.
As he is 38 seconds behind John Picha and was very close to him before. So either he's had an off-track excursion, or I can tell you Mike Stoffmill is in the pit lane. That is why he is dropping. He is in for gasoline.
John is passing him now.
John Barker making his way past him as well. I do believe I will also make it
you
through.
did.
Yep.
And Javi P.
Javi P.
And possibly Picha.
I think he gets out ahead of Picha.
What's happening now?
Oh, yeah, Picha is through. Okay, you are correct.
And Butler is definitely not.
He'll definitely get out ahead of Butler. Yes. Which actually is a good place to come out, actually. The large gap between Butler and Picha does make a pretty ideal spot to rejoin after your pit stop and get your tires back. Oh! Hamptown Races breaking his front end.
Oh, God.
I know the pain. Always whipping it out.
Yeah, well, here's I'll let you in on a secret here. The problem here is Jesse doesn't realize that his front end is broken.
Oof. Well, next turn he will.
Because what happened is he hit something on his wheel that changed its rotation angle.
So he has the double whammy. His hardware is failing, and he doesn't have a front wing.
Yeah, so he was focusing on that and didn't realize he was down a front wing.
John Barker getting past Jesse now.
Mm-hmm. And the problem here is it's going to come into play is that Jesse's going to pit and not fix that front wing.
Oh, what? Damn. I couldn't make that turn when I didn't have my front wing. It was pretty insane.
So Travis Wallace coming around.
I think we're going to see Travis for about 15 minutes.
Got some pit stops going on that has promoted Javi P to 4th place.
There we go. Very nice.
It's an artificial fourth, but you know what? You take it.
Technically fourth, the best kind of fourth.
And speaking of artificial runs, look who is in fifth, Byron!
Oh my god. He's out of the pits.
The Peach.
At least 3/4 of a pie.
Oh
my god.
Travis,
What
lag.
is going on?
Michael Magus rejoining the track.
Second high titty.
Right behind Jesse Hampton. You can see Jesse still no front wing.
Oh my god. This is brutal.
I make fun of drivers who are not on my team, so I'm gonna have to do the same to you here, Jesse. Jesse, why was the damage repair not just on? Why was that not default?
That should be 100%. Oh man, I feel
it doesn't cost you time if you have no damage, and it saves your life if you have damage you don't know about.
That seems like it should be brought to the attention of the driver.
See, you can't turn anymore.
You can't turn. Yeah.
Well, he hit the camera. I mean, clearly that's knocked something loose.
It was at this point where I suggested to Jesse, looking in the background, like, Jesse, you went off horribly there. He's like, yeah, the car's not really turning. Like, Jesse, did you break your front wing?
Yes.
So Jesse will be headed into the pit lane to take an additional pit stop to just fix the car. James Butler overtaking Jesse Hampton and relegating him to 10th place as his slain car continues to drag itself around the track. So Butler is a little bit of our mystery. We don't know if he's pitted or not yet because he dropped very, very far back, suggesting a pit stop, but it also may have just been an off-track excursion. I don't remember what the case was.
Oh, I am not aware.
Into the pit lane comes John Peach after running in 5th place. Thank you. Nice work, John. Travis Wallace is still yet to pit. Wayne Hutchinson has yet to pit. Javi P is in the pit lane as well. So I think everybody, except for Travis and possibly Butler,
Javi P is speeding in the drive in the pit lane.
Indeed. That was a heartbreaker for Javi P.
Damn.
He has come out ahead of James Butler, but has to serve a penalty. So if Puma is smart, they will probably just say, let Mr. Butler through and go serve your penalty.
Yep, there it is.
So a quick rundown.
I think I saw Peach up picking a penalty right there.
I don't recall him picking up a penalty, but it could be.
I saw the message there. Anyway, we'll see.
We will see. So
there it is.
I think we can
John
say.
Peacha.
Yeah, there it is. Drive penalty for John Peaches. Speeding in the pit lane. I believe we did better than we have historically done, though, actually. I think we only had the 2 drive-thrus this time around.
Speeding in the pit lane.
Speeding in the pit lane. Gonna lose your mind.
You sons of bitches stealing my fucking thing. I appreciate that.
So, quick rundown. Now that we theoretically... Wayne Hutchinson rejoining after his pit stop there, behind Mike Stopmill. So, in theory, we can now give you the rundown of the standings, because everybody should be about 1 pit stop complete. Travis Wallace leads from Mike Stopmill. Jesse Hampton is the Breitling car there that is down a lap, and being lapped because of his 2nd pit stop for damage. It is Wallace, Stopmill, Hutchinson, Jerome up to 4th place. So the pit stops really worked out for Josiah. John Barker 5th, Mike Magnuson 6th, James Butler 7th. He might still need 2 pit stops. Please confirm or deny down in the comments below, Mr. Butler. Javier Perez Torres 8th, but sitting on a penalty. Martin Edmonds 9th, John Peacha 10th, but sitting on a penalty. And Jesse Hampton in 11th place. We are down to 11 of the 14 cars that started this affair. Somewhere along the line, we lost Christoph Verstappen. I don't know where that happened.
You're
All
right.
I know is Travis is apparently so far out in front that he's drunkenly just humping the curb. He apparently is like 3 beers deep at this point. Lightweight.
On a rampage.
Ravage!
Very tight run through Parabolica for a drunk man, though.
He's currently ingesting all the squirrel paste he can.
Credit to Wayne Hutchinson. Classified him as a Div 3 driver because he's historically, had upper Div 3 pace, but maybe a bit of an open wheel specialist because he's delivering today.
Div 2 confirm.
It's weird. I actually meaning to talk to you about that. Do we want to split the divs into 3 different depending on the car class? Because there are some people that are very, very different depending on the car class.
I think you should split them up like karate belts.
I think it should be an overall affair. We should definitely look at everything.
Then we'll have some interesting decisions because there's some waiting to be done there.
There is no doubt there is some car that, for example, me, I'm a little weaker on, but it doesn't mean that I should be a Div 2 in these kind of car because I still hold my own, right?
No, well, that's what I mean. Is kind of like the series car classification determines your div. Basically.
I'm telling you, man, just do the martial arts belt. You get white bumper, you get blue bumper.
I actually have something like that coming to 3D Speed. We're adapting the FIA color code system for evening out the teams. So drivers will have
Bravo rules.
Drivers will either be platinum, gold, silver, or bronze.
Or brown.
There will not be separate divisions though for a championship or anything like that. It's nothing like that. But for the team's purposes, each color will correspond to a level of points that the team must use up to sign you, basically.
Interesting.
So it should equalize the teams a little bit. I mean, it can't be perfect because Mike Stockmill is king of the platinum, so it's a bit weird. But we're doing what we can here. Yeah,
it's not real life racing.
Yeah.
Where they race on a more even playing field.
Mm-hmm. So, for example, just because there's nothing really happening on the track right now, though a nice shot of the forest there. For example, if Mike Stockmill wants to start a team for next season's 3D Speed and he wants to have one teammate, he is a platinum driver, so he uses up 4 of his team's points. And since a 2-car team is only allowed 5 points, he must take a bronze driver as a teammate.
Very nice.
Now, if the team gets larger, though, there are other different combinations that can work. Because we are going to allow up to 4 cars per team.
I think that's too few cars. You need at least 72 cars per team.
Because to be honest, the experience I've had with Breitling through this series with F3 has been great. And absolute congratulations to Jesse Hampton, John Barker, Mike Stockmill, and now Wayne Hutchinson. Our chats have been lively, highly informative. We're working together like a well-oiled machine. It's very nice, and I would like to replicate that in 3D Speed if I can.
Unfortunately, that oil is Crisco.
Whoa. It's corn oil at best, sir.
I'm not talking about grease.
I shouldn't have said that. Crisco is actually awesome for a variety of things.
But I will shout out Puma as well. The chat has been active always in the last couple of days before a race. Everyone kind of gets together, share setup, talk about fuel. It's all very nice.
I mean, we share a setup, but really it's Mike Stockmill's setup and we just roll.
Well, we knew that.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I've had fast teammates before and they give me their setup and it doesn't work. It just doesn't. It's, for whatever reason, it doesn't suit your style of driving or whatever. But Stockmill setups I have had a very easy time with. They're quite stable. They're not ragged, for example, not to insult Mr. Travis Wallace, because I appreciate the effort he does when he gives me some setups sometimes. But sometimes his setups are a little bit unstable for my liking.
Yeah.
And that would definitely require some work. But it still gives you a starting point to maybe just adjust some things to try to find that stability.
Travis gave me a setup before, and I think it was for the F4, the Tatus. And it was a very good setup. It actually set me up for a very good pace.
Mm-hmm. But you and I have also shared setups before, and I don't find your setups terribly to my liking. So that probably maybe explains it. Your driving style is closer to Travis's than it is to
Probably,
mine.
yes.
And I'm
I will take him
copacetic
in my
with stuff.
team on the next team champ.
And then, of course, we have the fact that in 3D Speed, despite the fact that Paul, Rick, and Benny is my teammate, we've been using my setups for most of the season.
Very nice.
Might explain why we're losing to Joe Racer and Josiah Jerome.
Oh, Josiah's having a fantastic 3D race. 3D Racing Championship.
Yeah, but we should be ahead of them because Joe missed a round. The only problem is, of course, Paul had that really bad round at Red Bull Ring where he ran out of gas in the first race and then put up a pretty mundane result in the second one. And then, of course, I had my problem at Spa-Francorchamps where I rear-ended Ariel Zatoni. A, picked up a Tier 2 penalty, but B, also ruined the car and had to make a pit stop.
Damn.
And I had a bit of a bad race at Bathurst, so it's not all Paul's fault. I take responsibility for where it is. I've had 2 bad rounds. Hopefully, we can overhaul Team JJ at Road America in the upcoming season finale.
You will not.
JJ.
We may.
You will not.
Positive thinking. You.
Team JJ can do more on 1 pixel than most people can do all race.
That's true. Team JJ, most points per pixel.
The Team Puma, though, for this championship, the Fr3 team champ, we do not have a setup specialist. None of us are particularly advanced when it comes to setup. So we're kind of going with whatever we had last race and make adjustment to the wing. That's about it. So yeah, if I could have Travis next time on our team, that'd be nice. But next team champ, we were thinking of going down to 3 teams instead of 4. And yeah, I think that might be better.
We definitely really kind of only had 3 teams here because, of course, replay,
Yes.
no one here today, and of course the orange team here really just has Travis and John Picha and Verstappen, so they're a little bit short-handed too.
Yeah, we definitely.
Oh, they
need
got
to
Wesley
tweak
too.
that.
I should say they have Wesley, so they got 4 pretty reliable drivers. I mean, it's been an interesting battle between Breitling and Puma, because Puma, you guys have had the depth of driver, if I may say so. You have more drivers.
Yeah, they all show up most of the time.
But also, I think probably a faster crew. I mean, obviously we have Mike Stockmill. That's top of the food chain. That's great. Ooh, someone off the track there. That is John Picha off the track, and Jesse Hampton overtaking him for 10th place. We're about 4 minutes away from the next pit stop window opening, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, the battle has basically been Puma's depth and overall pace of driver against maybe the somewhat more technically savvy Breitling team, basically, making up some of that delta with good strategy and setup tactic.
See.
To give a quick rundown of what the teams look like right now, Team Orange, 1st and 11th, Wallace and Picha. Breitling has got 2nd, 3rd, 5th, and 6th are our cars. And Team Puma has 4th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Puma is, of course, taking big blows today with the losses of Sean Kenny and Jeff Roulette from the race.
So just a reminder to the viewers, the director is not stuck. There's just no close fight.
Well, you can see that by the gaps being displayed over
That's
the
correct.
side there. The closest together cars are Mike Stockmill and Wayne Hutchinson, 4 seconds apart.
Brutal.
Hopefully the last round of pit stops might interject some life back into the race, at least for a time being. I expect to see cars start to come to pit row around the 21 to 19 minute mark remaining in the race.
I believe I got a pit before that because of...
You're a little bit off sequence, because
Yeah.
your early pit stop.
Correct.
And we still don't know about James Butler, so that's the other wild card in the bunch.
Yeah, kind of interesting. So Byron, tell us a story. We're stuck on Travis here visually, so nothing to report.
I will
Well, I mean, what
just to
you do here is you go out front and you grease your wheels up there with the squirrel paste, and you get on up there and you just string yourself out to the Wallace Watch almost 11 goddamn seconds lead. Come on, son.
I will say Butler has pitted at least once for sure. John Pecha coming out of the pit lane there. I believe that was for damage. He had lost his that earlier shot where he was on the grass. I believe he had lost his front wing, so he is in the pits to repair.
Possibly.
Might have taken on fuel though. It's not outside of the realm of possibility that might have been his final pit stop as well. Though 22 minutes is doable on one tank of gas.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't when he was thinking of pitting, but you could adjust it, and certainly I would have recommended taking a little bit of extra fuel to make it to the end. But I was going to say Butler definitely did make a pit stop because he's well behind Javier Perez Torres now. The question is, has he made one pit stop or two? Because we really don't know. He's been a bit of a mystery this race.
Now I need to know. You're forcing me to the statistic log here. Let me go see.
Have a look.
I'm starting to wonder what... Alright, let's see here. Mr. Butler did pit twice.
Twice for the race, or is twice at this point?
Twice for the race.
Well, we'll keep an eye out and see if he pits again. So
Lap 9 and lap 17.
Martin Edmonds in the pit lane. We figured he would be the first one in, because of course his first pit stop had to be early, so his second pit stop also fairly early. Although you did make it into the zone I was talking about before. You pitted with a little bit under 21 minutes to go. So actually, probably not far off. Maybe only a lap.
Yeah.
So a very productive second run by you there. And looks like you saved the tires well enough to keep the pace up for the entire run. Travis Wallace, 10.5 seconds out in front. We will see his pit stop later on. And I will get to make fun of him.
There's quite a few drivers that made a 3 pit stop.
Oh, who did?
Javi P.
That was for the penalty, though.
John Peach.
That was for the penalty.
As well, you're right. And that's it. Although...
no, Hampton. Hampton made 3 stops.
Dude, you're right.
Because he forgot to fix his front.
Yeah, so... I have something very interesting here. Wayne Hutchinson, as far as the log goes, pitted once.
That's weird, though, because he did pit twice.
So he pit at lap 26, and that is all. There's
how many laps were
nothing
there?
else. Let me go have a look. A total of 34 laps for the leader.
He pitted before. That was his second pit stop at lap 26. It missed his pit stop somehow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's not showing.
Interesting.
Very odd. And he was in race position 3 when he pitted at lap 26.
Which is coming up here shortly. We're on lap 24 now. As Travis Wallace puts a lap on... Not sure who that was. One of the Brightlings is in the pit lane, and that is Mike Stopmill. So up in his second goes Wayne Hutchinson.
And in front of him is... Ooh. Was it me? Quite possible.
No, I don't think he's up to lapping you. Well, no, I guess it would probably have to be you, yeah.
Yeah, it's the last Puma 100, yeah.
No, that's true.
I cannot remember.
So that might be our co-commentator Martin Edmonds here. who is running in front of second place Wayne Hutchinson. Michael
No, I
Magus
think he
going
crashed
for
a
another
long
lap.
time ago.
Drink.
Moving into 5th position and coming up to Mike Stopmill. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see something that you're never going to see ever again.
Gonna blow past him like he's standing still. Watch this.
It'll come in a bit, but it's gonna happen.
Well, you got like, what, 150 pounds less to carry, I think, isn't it?
Well, yeah, 70 kilos from the penalty, plus you'll have the extra fuel on board, because I have yet to take fuel. Well, I took fuel at my first stop, obviously, but I have a fuel up in the second pit stop of 25 liters to take on. And we were running similarly. I think he cut his fuel a little bit finer than I did, but we finished with a combined 5 liters between us. So, very good. Just enough to be safe, but also enough to save weight. Dean Reimers just logged on to Daisy. What's up, Dean? You gotta talk to him and ask him what's up, because he's not been to the ESR races in a while. Travis Wallace. Fastest lap of the race of a 44.4. Still going. Hasn't made his final pit stop, and we have 17 minutes to go. A couple of the cars are going a little bit longer than I thought, to be honest. I thought we would see some pits by now. And Mike Magus coming around the Parabolica. Oh, I didn't pass him. I thought I did. Damn it.
Wah, wah.
The worst. Look at all this talking shit.
it up and I didn't deliver.
Oh my god.
You got excited.
Anyways, Mike Magus in the pits for his final pit stop of the day. New tires and gas. So who do we think is not pitted? We've got
The Peach.
Wayne Hutchinson. No, we think the Peach did, because he damaged his
Peach
car.
too sweet. Ain't got no pits.
Javi P. Has not pitted. James Butler, I think, has another pit stop in him. That's probably about it, actually. So Javier Perez Torres running in 6th place. Mike Magus rejoins in 7th. And Travis... Travis yet to pit. So the top two, Travis Wallace and Wayne Hutchinson, yet to pit. Javi P, 6th place, yet to pit. James Butler might need to pit. He's a bit of a mystery.
Spoiler alert, Travis doesn't need to pit. He just keeps going.
Butler pitted at lap 17, my friend.
Was that his only pit stop?
He did 9 and 17.
Okay. So he did a weird... Okay, interesting strategy. I assume maybe a damage-related pit stop was the first one, and he just kind of worked it into his fuel strategy, maybe.
Well, that would have been a perfect time to have damage.
Lap 9 is pretty early for the pit stop. So definitely less than optimal, but good work by James Butler if that's the case. If he took some damage and worked it into making it into a 2-stopper still. Very nice.
Well, I took damage on lap 6, and I went to the pit on lap 6, and my
yours
only
is worse.
other pit is lap 21.
Yeah. But you were one of the early ones, so James has got to run a fairly long distance on those tires in his final stint.
That might be a good strategy for the next race. Lap 9 or 10, and then go the distance. Do another pit later on.
There's a lot of different possibilities to work with. Michael Magus coming around here overtaking someone who's in the pit lane. That's Javier Perez Torres in for his final pit stop.
I find that hard to believe that you could overtake Javi P.
I just did. I
don't think that's really
In fact,
real.
James Butler is just about to. Wow, there you go. Mind blown.
Oh my god.
Well, looks like I'm passing him.
And actually,
too.
Martin's going to overtake Javi P as well. One of the Brightlings in the pit lane there, that would have to be Wayne. It's Wayne Hutchinson. in for his final pit stop of the day.
Is Mike Stockmill going to take him?
Yes. The answer is yes.
All right.
Well, he was like, the gap between them before Stockmill pitted was up to about 5 seconds, so it's not like they were tremendously close together. And in fact, there it is. Mike Stockmill up into second place.
There he goes! He's still like a minute behind Travis, though.
Travis has a pit stop to do, so it's right now a bit artificial, but I'm sure Travis appreciates the fact that on YouTube it shows that he is 54 seconds ahead of Mike Stockmill.
Hell yeah!
Even if it is slightly artificial. I believe he's actually coming up to try to lap me at this point, although I think he pits before he gets to actually get me to take a blue flag. In fact, I think this should be it now. Nope, going around for another run. Travis Wallace, first place, really stretching it out. Not really sure if this is the most advisable idea, because he's got more than enough room to make the pit stop and come out in the lead.
Correct.
And those tires can't be in the greatest of shape. I mean, not that Monza was particularly tire eating. The tires were fine.
Yeah.
But still a bit of a risk that isn't really needed, I guess is just what I'm getting at.
Yeah, tires were fine. I did not even have to worry compared to the first race of the season.
Did you do any long-run tire testing, though? Because me and Jesse found something interesting while we were working our tires here. It was, it wasn't that the percentages got low, but once we hit about around 65-64%, the tires really lost a lot of grip. Like, it felt like there was much more of a shelf on these tires than normal.
This is what you were saying there. Exactly.
Travis getting
He
wide.
went wide because of his tires.
He's either pushing too hard or his tires are letting go, which, I mean, both of those would not be tremendously advisable when you consider he's really got this win kind of in the bag. Maybe overcompensating for the issues he ran into at Slovakia where he ran out of gas. By the way, there's your challenge if you get Travis on your team, everybody. Someone needs to teach him like proper pit stop strategy.
I don't think Travis will listen to anyone.
Probably not. Looks like he's coming in this time. Yeah, there we are. Into the pit lane goes Travis Wallace. Now, an interesting fact about Travis's pit stop here. He's coming in. He's got a 47-second lead over Mike Stockmill. A pit stop is much less than that. And he is going to take gas and no tires for some reason.
Ooh, what?
Who do you think he is, Jorgen Walby?
Taking no tires for his final stint of the race. And you know what the sad thing is? His pit stop is still actually barely faster than Mike. Is actually, I think, slower than Mike Stockmill's pit stop, despite not taking the tires.
Yeah, the tires on this. The tire change on this is pretty fast.
Yeah, so that was my Travis Wallace's silly rant, not taking tires at his final pit stop with a large cushion. I'm just not sure what he was. I'm just not sure what the logic was on that. To be honest.
He's all hopped up on that squirrel paste.
I mean, obviously the logic was a faster pit stop, obviously, but the fact that he didn't calculate his fuel in liters, he just did like the risky fuel option. Ended up with him putting way more gas in his car than he needed.
Wait, I mean, he just like hit the roulette of fuel and it spun the wheel and ended up with like 70 liters instead of whatever.
So if you don't break things down by liters in your pit stop strategies, you can do like kind of this thing like risky, safe, that kind of setting thing where the game just kind of calculates a number, basically. The problem is that even if you do risky, you end up with a lot of fuel left at the end because it's putting too much fuel in your car, which makes your pit stop longer. Because if I recall correctly, after the race, he said he had something like 12 liters left. For comparison purposes, Mike Stockmill is going to end this race on 2 liters.
I'm actually thinking.
I recommend that maybe asking a math nerd some stuff ahead of time might be good.
Oh, yes. The Breitling chat before the race was filled with a lot of, okay, what are we thinking here for gas numbers? Okay, we're going to take in. I went a little bit high, but I took some fuel off on my last pit stop and took 25 liters instead of the planned 30, and finished the race with 3 liters left. Should be mentioned, 3 liters is roughly 1 lap, which was perfect. I was very proud of my fuel calculations.
Well done.
So, Mike, I have a feeling that the game takes in consideration the extra time that we add to the end of the race. So let's say you would have to do an extra lap because you're way behind.
But even that's too much.
Yeah, I agree.
That's still like 9 liters too much. I'd be interested about that if we could actually hear out from Sector 3 what is the logic behind the risky, the safe, and so on. Because, dare I say, putting 12 liters too much into your car, it's not very risky. I guess is what I'm getting at.
Well, here's the thing is, I've experienced it myself. When you have risky, sometimes you don't make it to the end unless you start saving fuel by the end of the race.
Interesting.
It has happened. And in this example that you have at Travis, it happens to me because I'm doing risky on my splash of gas if I need it by the end. I don't calculate, I just put risky. So sometimes, yeah, it puts a little bit too much.
I would very much suggest that with the information the Web Hub provides in terms of fuel mileage, that I would suggest everyone calculate their fuel out in the liters as opposed
in
to
minutes.
presets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend that probably you do a little fucking math and come up with some decagrams and a few nanojoules and really break that down to gravel.
Because that has been a common thing here in the F3 series, has been debating 1-stop, 2-stop races, and people, not to harp on Travis too badly, but he probably lost a race win at Slovakia by running out of gas. So, and his teammate Christoph Verstappen lost a podium because he was running very, very low on gas and had to go into like aggressive fuel save mode at the end. But if you calculate it out, you'll probably have a much better idea of what numbers you have to reach on a lap-to-lap basis to make your strategy work.
Yeah, so right there, Travis passed me. I was trying to use the draft to get a little bit closer to Mr. Butler.
14 seconds left, or 5.5 minutes left in a 14-second gap. That is a tough ask, but...
Watch it.
But
that's all I'm going to say.
Michael Magus catching up to John Barker.
Great.
And I'm going to overtake him for 5th place here. This is intentional from the Breitling team. And I've cleared it with my team. I will share the logic here. John, of course, is a driver who carries ballast. He's in 2nd place in the championship, and as a result has some ballast that he has to deal with. We were trying to get ballast off of him by having me overtake him, because we had decided after the 2nd pit stop that was probably a better case for me to beat him and possibly save him some ballast if he couldn't catch Josiah. So we basically put a time limit of like, okay, in about 10 minutes, if we're not making up ground on Josiah up there in 4th place, we're going to flip positions. And that's what happened there, allowing me to take a top 5. We actually thought you and James Butler might have been trying to do the same thing by the gap closing between the two of you.
Nope.
We couldn't figure out why, though, because actually your team is better served by Butler beating you. From like a ballast standpoint.
Yeah, now Josiah is getting 40 kilogram next race.
Yeah, so our mission was semi-successful because we managed to get Josiah an extra 10 kilos of ballast. So
yeah, and Barker is also getting the same amount.
Yeah, but it would have been 40-30 for John if John had stayed in 5th place. So there you go. Teamwork at its finest. Also, we had a good joke going on because after James Butler, of course, had hit me on lap 1, and then again later on, I'm not angry about it. I'm not bitter at all. I had made a comment about James Butler, and of course, those that are unaware, John Barker is a very loquacious individual with a deep vocabulary. So when we swap positions there, he says, like, all right, I am now your buckler to defend against Butler.
I dig it.
So that was fun.
So were the penalties already announced for this?
I don't believe Jack.
know.
I don't believe Jack got to that because honestly, the deadline would have only ended tonight to report your penalties. And of course, a Sunday night. Those who are unaware, Jack runs a security company that provides security for various forms of clubs. Some involving clothing being removed. So Sunday and Saturday nights, he tends to be very, very busy.
Anyone uploaded the result? I mean, the replay for him?
Yes, that has been done. I have provided him with. He has all the tools he needs. He would have just been waiting for people to make their reports, and probably, I suspect, will begin the. Actually, that's the problem. Is he is going on vacation in a bit, so.
Me too.
I'll send him a text message tonight. And get to know whether he's going to be able to handle the F3 race or not, from a stewarding standpoint. And I will let you know. He's pretty good about responding, so we should have an answer this evening.
Steward.
John Barker, because of our flopping positions, me and John, I think, are going to dominate the recording for the next little bit because we're semi-close together.
I think you should probably put him in the wall.
Why would I do that to my team?
I don't know. You've done it before.
I'm a good team.
In this race.
I've never put a teammate into
the wall. I heard you fucking wrecked the shit out of him because he looked at you weird.
I pushed him across a chicane after James Butler rocketed up my butt.
I mean, that's probably true.
Yep. So not really anything to play for here in the last minute. Everyone is pretty far apart, or in the case of myself and John, are not fighting. We have the result we want right now. Although, yeah, I could see what you said, Martin. You've now closed the gap to 5.7 seconds, so you've made up 10 seconds in 4 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
Obviously bribing people.
I think he was stepping back a little bit to save fuel.
No. I'm gonna throw out an additional theory. We were talking earlier about James Butler's pit stops. He pitted on lap 17. It is now lap 34. Those tires are 17 laps old. I imagine that they are struggling.
But not much longer. You can take him up behind the barn,
because
put him down.
I'm also noting that the gap between myself and John Barker to James Butler is growing substantially as well. So like it's definitely that James is currently going a little bit slower than his normal pace. And I'm going to suggest that it is a tire problem. But your theory on fuel is also quite possible. He may be aggressively saving fuel because again, he pitted lap 17 laps of fuel. He might be struggling. So actually, I suppose both of these ideas, or to be honest, even both of them at the same time, are very valid. So James Butler, we have more questions for you.
Wallace watch. He's fucking 16 seconds ahead of Stop Mill.
He's been losing ground to Stop Mill for the last little bit.
Not that I've seen. He started out 15 seconds ahead, and he's still 15 and a half or more ahead.
It was 17.2 at the end of the pit stops.
No, it was still 15.
It was 17.2.
Yeah, okay, you can hit the rewind button, but I'm pretty sure it was 15 seconds.
It was 17, my friend.
That's because you're wrong?
I'm not wrong. Stop Mill was catching him towards the end.
Right.
There is Stop Mill coming across in second place.
I'm perfectly willing to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
And this would be John Barker on our screen, currently running in 6th place.
So speaking of strategy for ballast here,
sure.
If Mr. Boutelier would have let me take that one position, that would have given me an extra 3 points, which would have put me 2nd overall in the whole championship.
And 40 kilos of ballast.
Me with 40 kilo of ballast.
There
And
you go.
Josiah and Jerome would have been at 30 kilograms each.
What's your current ballast?
Now it's going to be 20 because
You're
of all
20.
of this.
So if you had overtaken... Yeah, I don't think this really works out for you guys' favor, because it'd be 10 extra kilos of ballast.
For the whole team, yes.
Yeah,
so
'cause
I'm
if you
quite,
you
I'm
overtake,
quite happy to
you
only
get-
be down by 2 points on the on the second and third position, and having 20 kilograms less of ballast
Let's see
for the last round.
He held a good round long through Parabolicus. I don't know. Maybe his tires are okay. Maybe it is the gas, like you suggested. But he's got James Butler putting up a little bit of subpar lap times right now, as he comes across the line to take 7th place ahead of Martin Edmonds. That's what I said when we were talking about when we thought that maybe you and Butler were trying to flip places. We were trying to figure out why. Travis Wallace, your winner from Mike Stoffmill. Debutant, Wayne Hutchinson, Josiah Jerome, Mike Magus, top 5, baby. I promised my team I would do that. John Barker, 6th. James Butler, 7th. 8th for Martin Edmonds. 9th for Javier Perez Torres. And 10th place for Jesse Hampton. And also 11th for John Picha, who is your final finisher. 3 cars not making it to the end. Christopher Streppen, Sean Kenny, and Jeff Roulette.
Yev.
Final race is at Imola for the F3 Series, with the Teams Championship still up for grabs, although Breitling is fairly comfortable ahead right now.
I can give you the points by team right now. Breitling Racing is at 790 points. Puma 726, and Team Keflifle 24, or the Orange Team, or whatever you want to call them.
The Orange Team, I think, is probably best.
338 only. They scored a big 0 on race 1, so
they had
chance.
3 DNFs in the first race.
That's right. So, by the way, Mr. Division 3 there, Michael Magus, is going to take 10 kilograms of ballast on the next FR3 race.
I do have to say it is somewhat irrelevant that I picked up ballast, because I won't be there.
You won't be there? What?
I will be at the wedding.
Oh, my God.
Spoiler alert, I'm going to get him so drunk he misses the wedding.
Well, then I'll miss the race because I'm so drunk. I mean, either way, I'm missing.
Boo.
So,
well,
yeah,
you're going to pick 10 kilograms for the next champ.
You make it carry over. But yeah, that was the other thing, is we knew that I wasn't going to be attending the final round, so any ballast that I could take off of John and even put onto myself was going to be advantageous.
Dirty man. All right, I like it.
You put me and Jesse on the same team. We've had a lot of time to think about various ways to game the system.
You guys have way too much time on your hands. I usually don't even have time to practice until a couple minutes before the race.
Yeah, well, we're also both very sick right now, so there's only so much you can do. I've been off and on sleeping about 12 hours a day, so it's giving me a fair amount of free time on my hands. And I am also roughly 8 pounds lighter, so there you go.
It's all in the hips.
It's all in water is actually the answer. But anyways, that is all from Monza as we finish up at Imola, the other historic Italian track. Although, technically, I believe it was the home of the San Marino Grand Prix instead of Italy, but it was a way of like having 2 different races in Italy, basically. Yep. So, any predictions for that, Martin? Is your team? What is your team feeling heading into that battle? Their chances to make up
some practice this time around.
To make up the 64-point gap between Breitling and Puma.
I don't know. Take out Magus. Not Magus, sorry. The other Mike. Take out the other Mike.
Jeffries.
We'll send Torpedo Perez on him.
Torpedo Perez? Using Javi P as the torpedo? Come on. You clearly need to use James Butler. He did a great job in this race.
Yeah, he managed to come back.
Mm-hmm. All right, that is all for this recording. So for all of us,
good night.
Enjoy next time.